People who live here now say that by the 1950s, Hastings was a bustling and thriving town, booming with promise.
Hastings used to be a busy town years ago. They had an A&P store, and 2 dime stores, and a little movie theater. It was pretty busy.
There was a 5 and 10 store. There was a Western Auto. There was a fish market. There was Ford's Motor. They sold new cars here in Hastings. Then on the left side, there was a Chevrolet place.
There were trees, and also that was beautified, azaleas and roses and things in the median. Really beautiful.
You used to on a Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, everybody went to town. They bought the groceries, they got the haircut, and they visited. The stores used to stay open until midnight on a Saturday night, and you could get anything you wanted in town.
Hastings had become a close-knit, friendly community.
Well, they could stick their head out the window and see. Well, I just saw him going to Elmo's drugstore. Just give him a minute, he'll be out of there. They kept up with each other that way. It was a very personal, person-to-person contact. Interesting life. Interesting. Very much so.
But Hastings began to lose its small-town community feeling when desegregation tore the town apart.
1968, 69, federal government was integrating the school systems. And we had a grades 1 through 12 black school here, grades 1 through 12 white school here. And they were going to put them together, and a lot of people fled. So that left us without a high school, and it's really hard for a small town or, to have much sense of community without a school, out of high school.
But I feel like when you take school and church out of a community, you don't have it.
One reason the community fell apart was it wasn't ready for change. People still clung to the ways of the Old South.
The unwritten rule was black people were across the track on the north side of town by dark. You never saw a black person over here on this side of town after dark.
I would always pray with my children because they grew up, they was growing up into integration.
Some things went smooth, and sometimes they had trouble, It was pretty hard.
One incident came up with my youngest son, but they say this guy was about 21 years old. And St. Joseph Academy always was Hastings' rival. And he told my son if you all win, what he was going to do to him. And so he hit my son, and they passed some licks.
So, many blacks got their children out of town also.
The local black women, went out in the fields and worked. Well, these people worked really, really, really hard and raised their kids and got their kids out of here. And many of them as they possibly could. And I would bet money that if you took the class, the year I graduated from high school, and the same year of the black high school, that the higher percentage of those black students did better as far as further education and careers than the white students did.
But as time has passed, some of the walls have come down.
I've got black neighbors now, okay, but which I didn't have. So in my generation, some things have changed.
Another blow came to the town in 1985 when a fire burned through downtown and leveled most of the buildings.
Oh, it was bad. It just about wiped it out. Some people had not recovered from that. That was a blow. That was a blow.
After the fire, most of the businesses on Main Street didn't rebuild. Nearby towns like Palatka and St. Augustine started getting bigger stores and attracting locals away from Hastings. Those who stayed say it was rough times.
My neighbor and I were both cabbage farmers. Our boys came out there and they wanted some money to go to town and get something to drink. They said, "We ain't got no money." My neighbor said, "Well, I know how y'all can make some money." He made them a sign, cabbage 5 cents a head, on a car hood and set it up out there, and they got the wheelbarrow and was rolling those cabbage back and forth.
The boys earned pretty good money, but grew tired of it.
So then the family started sitting out here on weekends selling cabbage, and this is what it is today.
That was the beginning of the roadside produce stand known as the County Line, which has been open for 47 years. Despite all the setbacks, the people of Hastings have managed to recover by going back to their roots.
Most of the jobs here are farm jobs, or farm-related jobs. The different types of places that support the farms. But it's a farming. Economy is all based on farming out here, pretty much.